Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today I'm here with CJT.
It's an honor to be here. Like, if you don't go to college, I'm sorry, you're a scrub. Like, I just want to be on a sports team, if that makes sense. Like, could be anywhere, like the U.S., Europe. What's like the ideal like income?
There's no limit. 70% of people go to college or university.
Everyone's going to university.
It's not an accomplishment anymore.
One of my friends picks engineering, but he doesn't even want to be an engineer. It's like, why are you here? Like you said, I feel like that I'm saying like a lot also, by the way.
I think that a lot of people are crippled by their own disbelief.
Oh yeah, I agree. But if you're like a wuss and don't like it, like good luck. Like I'm a summer student, so like I need the most hours possible. I only got like 30. I asked him, I'm like, yo, like when do we get paid? It's like 17 days, and when am I gonna get paid, bro? Like give me my money. He owes me $2,900. If there's a podcast, and hopefully it's not mine, that you wish you never recorded or wish didn't happen.
Other than school, what do you spend your time doing?
Yeah, I worked at Foodland, and I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of shit. Foodland in Elmira, I'll say the full location. Never fucking go there. It is dog shit. So we're playing volleyball, and I don't really fucking like volleyball. It's kind of a shit sport. I can't lie.
It is very hardcore here. I think that Orangeville's sport is lacrosse.
It is 100%
more than hockey.
There's some unfortunate events that happen. Some people don't have the money to go to school, for example.
True.
I'm gonna be the most viewed podcast here. I feel like it's cliche. A lot of people are like, oh, thank you for having me. You should be thanking me for having me on this podcast.
Thank you, Colin, for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VoV podcast, Voices of Vic. Today I'm here with Colin Thompson, CJT.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone else says, like, telling you before, it's like it's a pleasure, but I'm going to say it's an honor.
It's an honor. Thank you, CJT. I appreciate that. Goes to Waterloo.
Yeah.
Second best university in Ontario.
Agreed.
After U of T, of course.
I've heard different, but
everyone, we were talking about this with Hannah. All the colleges say that they're number one in whatever it is.
See, when I go to university, I haven't even heard of the colleges. Like we have Conestoga right beside us.
Yeah.
Never heard of Conestoga.
I don't even know. I didn't know that was a university.
It's not. It's
irrelevant.
A college.
Irrelevant. Yeah. College. Relevant.
No one cares about the college. Like if you don't go to college, I'm sorry, you're a scrub. Like.
All right. I don't know about that, but no, I understand what you're saying. How do you think? How do you feel about university so far? First year in, you think it's everything you expected, or you think it's like a scam?
I think it's not overhyped, but people get too worried about it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's similar to like high school.
Yeah. And
like it's the exact same steps. It's just harder work. Or I guess your program's a lot harder. Like it just takes more time. Like
what's your program? Obviously I know, but like tell people what you're
sports business.
What is involved in sports business? First year, what'd you have to do?
So it's like people think it's like it's just basic sports. It's not. It's like behind the scenes. So like paperwork, it's like accounting, marketing, any business you can think of. It's basically that.
Nice. How do you feel about what do you like more about it? Do you like the business side or the sports side? Like how much it is mainly business. Like, did you do a lot of what was the sports aspect of sports?
Well, I'd say like my favorite thing, like we had to do like salary cap, except it was for the MLB. Like me and you know the NHL pretty well, but we had to do it for like the MLB. I'd say that's pretty sick because like it's just money involved and the salary cap's a cool thing to talk about. Like some people think it's like, oh, being Kyle Dubas, general manager, I guess that's a goal, but like that's an unrealistic goal. Like
trying to be like cap friendly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I'd say it's if you're trying to get into it, it's a cool program.
Yeah, no, me and CHT prepared for this. We got him ready for university.
Yeah.
So many mock trades, just making rosters and stuff. What is your dream job coming out of this degree?
I'd say just working in sports.
Yeah.
I always get that question, and like people always make fun. They're like, "Oh, Kyle Dubas." Like, I don't want to be a GM, but it's like I'd say something in sports. I just want to be on a sports team, if that makes sense. Like could be anywhere, like the U.S., Europe. I just kind of want to be like involved.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Respect.
I never got
my dream job.
Yeah, I've never got to hear. I don't know if you said it on the pod before, but
I don't know if I have a dream job. It's a good question. It used to be NHL GM.
Yeah,
for sure. Just because I love hockey so much, it seemed like the way to go. But no, I don't really have it. I don't have much of a dream job, more of like a dream outcome.
Yeah, you want to make money.
I'm trying to make good money. I'm trying to make money for myself.
Yeah.
I want to work for myself. That's a dream. Yeah. Run a successful business, start a successful business.
What's like the ideal like income? Like I know mine personally, but like what's like your ideal income?
Bro, there's no limit. I mean, ideal income.
Or like what would you like if you had this, you'd be like, oh, I succeeded, or what would you be like, oh, I need more than what I have right now? Like what's like a base?
That's a good question.
Like, you know, some jobs you'll see and they'll be like, oh, 100K salary.
Yeah.
Like what's your minimum salary you want?
That's a good question. I don't want anyone to come at me with something like that's way too high. You're ridiculous for thinking that. But I've heard that your lifestyle doesn't change much. Like if you had to look at Elon Musk, let's say you looked at someone with $1 billion versus $200 billion. There isn't much difference in those people's lifestyles. Like an extra 99 billion, like you can already buy everything with $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you don't really need the extra money. So what I've heard just from the internet, I guess, is that once you reach 2 million a month, so like 25 million a year, your life will not change after anything higher than that.
I'd say I agree. But how do you think you're going to get there?
Bro, that's the thing. You need a plan.
Because like, I know you take university, but what do you think you're like doing after? Like, I kind of know what I'm doing after. Like, what do you think you're doing after?
There is 0% chance, maybe not zero. There's almost 0% chance that university will ever get you to 2 million a month.
I agree.
I think that's like, because everyone goes to university.
Yeah,
that's
agree.
The thing. I was talking about, I don't know who I was talking to this about, but I was basically saying how like 100 years ago, it was a big deal to go to university. Like the fact that you studied at a university, that you're a graduate, whatever, that you got a degree.
Yeah.
All of this stuff was like, wow, this is such an impressive person, blah, blah, blah. They're so educated. But that was only because 100 years ago, only like 10%, 5%, whatever, of people went to universities. So it was super rare. It's like, wow, that's a great accomplishment. Now, 70% of people go to college or university.
Everyone's going to university.
It's not an accomplishment anymore.
I'd say like it gets you like a base salary. I'd say if you graduate university like with a good degree, like there's some degrees that can get into later, but I don't like think it's like some of the degrees are a little weird. But I'm talking like your degree economics, you can get like base 100K salary. But even that, like even economics isn't really that impressive. Yeah, in my opinion. If you're trying to like, I see what you mean. Like earlier we were talking, you're saying like flipping and stuff. Like I feel like you have to do more than your degree 100%, to get higher. 100%. Like a higher income. Yeah, no, 100%. And I realized that because, I'll say this. When I was going to U of T, like the summer before I got there, I had this grand idea that I was going to be embraced in such like a high performing, competitive sort of like culture. Yeah. Where it's like, I am waiting to just be surrounded by impressive people. This is the best school in the country. Literally ranked #1 university in Canada. It's top 21. It's top 25 in the world. So I was really expecting to come from this small town, Orangeville, to be surrounded by like just high performers. And then I got there and everyone's just normal. Yeah. Everyone that like, they're not like, no offense to U of T students. That's everyone that watches. They're like, everyone that watches. They're like, what the fuck? No offense. Literally no offense. But all university tells you, all that getting into the good universities tells you is that you're surrounded by people that are good at school. I love the exact same thing. Like you go there and you're like, oh, there's going to be people with me that are geniuses. Yeah. They're like, oh, like you get like an 80, they're going to get like 99s, but it's not, everyone's the same. I think that it's just a lot of normal people. And I think it's like same with like different universities that are lower. Like there's obviously UOT and Waterloo were ranked high, but even the lower universities, I still feel just because you picked a lower university doesn't mean you couldn't go to Waterloo or UOT. Like I just think each university has like a specific type of program that's best for everybody. 100%. Like Waterloo's engineering. I don't know what UOT is, but yeah, I don't know what U of T is either, honestly. I just know overall, and it also, a lot of it is because it gets some of the most funding, government funding, which is a huge reason why it's up there. But
But yeah, no, like all university tells you, because your entire life up until you turn like 18, up until you leave high school, success like is really measured by school only. Like not a lot of people do much outside of school when they're in their teens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like there are people who like try to, do stuff on the side. Maybe they're a really good athlete. We'll get into junior B here. But like in general, everyone does school. Not everyone does something on the side.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think when you pull up to university, there's kind of like there's a misconception that these are the most successful people in life, where it's really, these are just the best people at school. They can get good grades, but good grades don't pay.
Like if you look at like, I know what you mean. If you look at like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, I don't go like, oh, what they graduate in.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, he graduated with this. Like, I'm like, how do he make his money?
Yeah.
And there's some degrees, like, I guess we'll get into that. There's some degrees that I think not pointless, but kind of a waste of money. I don't know if you've seen some, but
no, for sure. I think a lot of them actually.
Like I feel like picking your subject is like 50% of the thing, because it's what you're gonna do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like I'm in sports because I love sports. You're in economics, right? Because you love like economics, like money, how it flows and stuff. But there's some people I feel like that just waste their money and pick a subject that I don't even like. Yeah. Like one of my friends picks engineering, but he doesn't even want to be an engineer. It's like, why are you here? Like
I will say I think engineering gets a pass. There are some degrees in school that I find are very, very important.
Yeah.
Like I'll talk trash about school all day, but there are like a few, only because majority of it is garbage. But there's a few degrees that are very important that you need to go to school for, like doctor, obviously, lawyer, engineer is one of those things, I think, because you need all those certifications. But like my thing, economics, bro, what you're learning about how money flows. Like it's not really a skill.
Like I definitely think that. I just think like you got to choose what you love, I feel. Because like you say engineering's good in school, I agree. But if you don't like engineering or your parents are forcing you to take it, like why?
Yeah, no.
Why waste all that money?
You have to have a degree of, you have to be invested into it.
Yeah.
And whether it's invested because it's going to come with a big paycheck, that's not terrible. But if you genuinely don't care about it, I don't think it'll last. It's hard. It's hard to compete with someone who likes what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I never asked you this, but like if you say you want to be $2 million a month, whatever, if you do that but don't like what you do, would you still do it? Like would you get the money but be like, you come home every day and you're like, oh, like I don't like what I'm doing, but you're still getting bank?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that if it's under the parameters that I was saying, where it's I'm making my own money, I'm working for myself.
Oh, okay, so you don't want to do it, but say you make $2 million a month, but you're working for someone else.
Okay, sure, yeah. Maybe if I got hired on for whatever job, I have to be at this place at this time. I have to work 5-6 days a week. $2 million a month, it'd be a different story.
Like there's no clock in, clock out with $2 million a month. I don't think.
I don't think so.
But you know what I mean? Like say you're working for me, and then I'm giving you $2 million a month, but you don't really like what you're doing.
Thank you for the high pay, by the way, CJT. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. Respect.
No problem.
Respect. Congratulations on the successful company. No, but if I was working, okay, you don't count because you're G, but if I was working for some guy I don't care about, let's say, and I had to I had to do basically exactly what my boss had told me to do. It's not like I'm not chasing the money for the money. I'm chasing the money for the freedom. Which, if I was making $2 million a month, but I had no freedom, then what's the point? Yeah,
like you work like 9 to 9 or something.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I couldn't even choose the time I woke up, I'd rather make $10K a month and be in charge of my own life than make $2 million a month and have to be exactly where someone else tells me to be.
So you'd never want to you don't want like an alarm, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, well, I'd like to set my own alarm.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to set my own alarm.
So you don't want someone telling you, oh, be here by 6. You'll just, if you get up at that time, you're there.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, I like to be in charge of my own life. Yeah, that's what I think chasing a high pay is all about.
And you think university helps with that, or do you think it like because you said you think things on the side will get you higher. Like,
Yeah, I don't think that just following the path that school lays out for you is enough at all.
The 9 to 5
9 to 5, man. What do you think?
of the like
as you're going through your
in
degree,
my opinion, school only gets you to a certain level.
right?
I feel like
What level is that though?
I think like they tell you all the time, go to school, do this, do that, but that's because they want you to work a desk job in 9 to 5.
Right.
I think university, it'll get you to like you said, 6 figures. It isn't bad, like 100K.
Oh, for a lot of people, that'd be amazing. For me, that is amazing. That's above average.
Yeah, for me, it's like if I retire and look back on my life, do I want to like? And someone asked me what I did, and I'd be like, oh, I did 30 years of just sitting at a desk all day, 9 to 5. I didn't really like. I want to tell people, oh, I did this, I did that.
Yeah.
While making money, that'd be cool. Like I feel like sports. Well, you look at it. There's millionaires that GMs. Obviously, I'm not saying be a GM, but like there's people under them like hockey operations, this and that still make $1 million, $2 million bucks. So I feel like a big part of it is you have to do what you love. Like you said, like I don't really want to wake up at this time. Someone tell me, oh, be here at this time, clock in, clock out. Like when we worked at Home Hardware.
HH.
Like you said, I feel like that I'm saying like a lot also, by the way.
No, you're chilling.
I feel like you said, I don't want to clock in, clock out. Like Home Hardware taught me valuable lessons, like
for sure,
of what not to do, what to do.
And it's different because we were young and we're young still.
Yeah.
I think that clocking in, clocking out at our age is absolutely
like I'm not dissing
fine.
it. Anyone watching this is like, oh yeah, screw this. I'm not dissing it, but it's like it's not for me. I'd say.
No, yeah, I know what you mean, and I think that most people don't like that life. Even the people who do clock in, clock out, I don't think they're super happy. This is why so many people say they don't like their job.
Yeah, like if you go ask, like, I could ask anybody in Home Hardware, they'd say they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like Jim, he never clocked in, clocked out. He was salary based.
Shout out to Jim. He's a G. That was our boss.
Definitely not watching this.
No, he's not. But Jim, shout out to Jim if
Jim somehow ever got a hold of this, big shout out.
Beauty.
But yeah, like I'd say like you said, I just want to do more.
Yeah, man. It's I think it's all about freedom at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Clock in, clock out. I had a point to add.
That's a great point right there.
Oh yeah, thank you. I don't know.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Do you? Oh no. Here's what I remember. Do you not want to be a GM?
It's not that I don't want to be. Like if the opportunity came, 100%. Like, because I feel like everyone that chooses sport business, and like I'd say it's 90% of the people, chose it because they see the potential, like the GM potential.
Yeah,
it looks cool. Like if the opportunity came, I'd definitely take it. But it's just unrealistic. There's only 32 GMs, and you got to think how many people are taking sports business.
Yeah, but why set the bar?
Oh, I agree. Like the bar would be GM. I'm just saying, like, actually, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Why set the bar low? The bar is like, I think GM's the highest.
Because think about it. If you have however many people take sports business, let's say you have 1,000 of them who take sports business, for example, just random number.
Oh, I'd try and be that one that.
That's what I'm saying. Like already, you look at the 1,000, right? Because you're seeing that, or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Let's say 1,000 people are studying sports business, and you think, okay, these are the candidates that could get that GM job, but 700 of them don't believe it.
Yeah.
Then now the competition's only 300.
I also got to think like it's not just me that doesn't think it's possible.
100%.
Oh, I think every single one of them is like, oh,
I probably won't get that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So if you don't limit yourself like that, that's the first step. Yeah. Already you go from 1,000 students to 300.
Yeah.
Because the 300 believe they can get there.
I agree.
And then you got to do a bunch of other stuff.
Like,
you got to network, know people, study hard, work hard, all this type of stuff. Then you can reach there. It's a race.
Like that's a dream, but I feel like if there was like a base dream, it'd be working in sports. Like if I work in sports, I'm already achieved my dream.
I see.
Because it's like I'm waking up, oh shit, like I'm going to work, the dream job.
Yeah.
And then GM comes, oh that's just like a second. It's like win the cup. Like you make the NHL, you're already living your dream. You win the cup, oh it's just a second dream on top of that. Yeah, so I feel like GM would be a second dream on top of already getting there.
100%. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are kind of crippled by their own disbelief.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That's like the biggest That's the biggest problem that people have to not getting to where they want to, is because they just don't believe they can. That's why when I sit here and say my dream is to make $2 million a month, right now when I'm making fucking
some people are gonna be
2,000,
like, they're gonna be like, what the hell? Like
people are gonna think that this kid's crazy. This kid's psycho. What is he talking about? He's never gonna reach 2 million a month. But that's just because even if it sounds crazy, like it sounds unbelievable, like if I ever reach that in my entire life, that's gonna be insane. But why already take myself out of the running? Why say I can't do it?
Yeah, when you're not even in the running in the first place. Like you're in the running now, but I mean the race hasn't even started and you're already out.
You're already counting yourself out. You're like, nope, no chance, because people don't believe.
Yeah.
And whether it's going to happen or not, the fact that I believe it can increases my odds. Why not?
Well, because you got to think like there's some other people, they don't think they're going to make 2 million.
Yep.
Or you think like, I think of Mark Cuban, like this quote that he had where he wanted to retire at the age of 30, be a millionaire at the age of 30. You think he didn't believe? Like
exactly.
He believed and he achieved. So
I don't think that. Yeah, like most people who ever reach amazing success believe that they could reach that success. 100%.
I agree.
Speaking of amazing success, you came back from down 2-0.
We did.
The Orangeville Junior B Northmen with the most insane comeback of all time.
Which, by the way, I'm not going to say this kid's name, but I got a DM saying we're going to go down 0-3. Yeah. And he said, like, you know, we say horns up. Well, he's like, oh, yeah, horns down. He was just talking me
horns
the whole time.
Down, yeah.
So when we won 3-2, I sent him a little GIF or GIF. That was, it literally just did this because that's what Northman did, and then I just blocked him. So.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to come back.
That was sick. No, that was crazy. They were talking about in the dressing room how the coaches, the players, everyone counted you guys out. Yeah. Like, did you even believe that you could come back?
That's the thing. Like, you know the group because we had it last year when we were down Clarington, Fergus. We were down all those series. It's like half the group.
Yeah.
It's just we never give up. Like, we were down 11-7. I don't know if I told you, with 10 minutes left in game 5.
Yeah.
You have that, like, it's not that you don't think, but you're like, can we do this? It's not like it's not doubt. Well, I guess it is, but it's like, can we really do this? And then you get one, and then you just keep going. So we just never quit the whole series.
You never. What is, like, if you had to give like the one key lesson, like the one main mindset that someone has to have to make a comeback like that? Because it's important for obviously your series in sports, but I think that in a lot of times in life,
it's just life in general.
Yeah, you can, if you're completely down, you're about to lose, but you need to make the biggest comeback ever, like your team did. What's the mindset that you need to have after being down 2-0, going back in that dressing room and thinking that you guys can win everything?
Well, there's two things. I think one, it's like in life you're gonna get beat up and bruised up, but just how many bruises can you limit? Like, we limited them to 2 losses. We're not, or 2 wins. We're not going to make it 3. Or just in life in general, you're going to have XX bruises. You just got to limit those bruises. And then when they stop, keep going forward. Like, their momentum stopped, and that's when we just took off. Yeah. And I'd say another thing is you can just never give up in life. Yeah. Like, everyone knows that. It's a cliche, but you can just never give up. And I mean, we didn't.
That's awesome. That's sick.
Yeah.
What's the plan for next year, Junior A? You making it, or
that's always the goal, but
it's always the goal.
It's up to them. It's not up to me.
So find out.
But I think also, like, well, I mean, you saw a couple fight videos.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. First junior fight.
Yeah, CJT is an absolute beast out there on the floor.
It didn't go as planned. Like, if you watch it, I don't know if I won. I don't know if I don't really know.
Yeah.
I got punched in the face, and so did the other guy. So
it's one of those.
Is what it is. But
hockey or lacrosse?
I always get that question. And I always switch it up every time.
Depending on the season.
Like, watching it, it's hockey.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I just always grew up watching. I grew up watching lacrosse since I was like 3, but it's just hockey. But playing, I have to say lacrosse.
That's interesting.
Just because you have a stick, it's like, I don't know how many people... Sorry?
You have a stick in
hockey. Yeah, okay. But it's like, I can't cross-check. I can't, like, slash people in hockey.
Is it the physical part of it that you like more?
Yeah, but I also like the physicality. If you're someone that's like I feel like you would too, but if you're like a wuss and don't like it, like, good luck. Like,
if you're a bitch.
Yeah, like, there's no point of playing. Like,
no, because obviously I play hockey, and hockey, like, in mainstream is considered like one of those tough sports. Yeah. But if people have not seen lacrosse, man, it doesn't even compare.
And I also feel like it's like a thing in life. Like lacrosse, it's nonstop. You hear a couple whistles, and I feel like I like that type of lifestyle in life, a nonstop like pace.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know how I connected those two together, but
it's a battle.
Or like even construction, well, I guess you work in, so technically like a trade, it's just nonstop. I feel like lacrosse is the same way. Like I remember I was sitting in the box, and the guy's like, "Oh, you get out on the next dead whistle." I sat there for like 12 minutes because it's just nonstop pace. So I don't know how I connected that with life, but it just came to my mind.
Life
like,
connection.
Like life, it's always moving forward. I feel like lacrosse the same way.
What do you mean trades are nonstop?
Like
always stuff's getting built.
I agree, but like now that because with my job, I deliver stuff to the sites.
Yeah.
And I see, like, I look at the sites, and the guys are always just working. There's noises everywhere. It's a fast environment, fast paced, which like I like that kind of stuff. So
yeah. And is that what you do now? Get into your someone scammed your ass.
Oh yeah.
Do you do the driving stuff still, or is that was your last?
So
job?
the driving stuff's now, like I work for like my dad's like lower thing. So I'm like, I'm not a delivery driver because I still do like what we did at Home Hardware.
Yeah.
But you know how we had drivers at Home Hardware?
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're both.
I do both.
Got it. Okay. So
I got scammed. So
what did you work as?
I looked it up actually on the table. It's okay. I'll say the number, but so I did landscaping.
Yeah.
I did 2 different jobs.
Okay. So
landscaping, if anyone knows that I work there and they're watching this podcast, it's not their job because the people I worked with after that were brutal.
Yeah.
So the first job, the guy paid me well. The thing is, I didn't get the hours.
What do you mean?
Like, so you know how you have 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a summer student, so like I need the most hours possible. I only got like 30, 25, 30. Yeah. So I left there, went to another place. This other place, crazy. Yeah. I'm the only person there.
Okay.
It's wild. And it's not the one with Andy's girlfriend. That was the first one.
Okay.
This is the second one. So the guy, I'm working there for 2 weeks, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, like, when do we get paid? Like, I thought it was some jobs every week, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it hits the second week. It's like 17 days. And when am I going to get paid, bro? Like, give me my money. So then it goes on for like a couple months. I still haven't got paid. And the guy never shows up to the job. He just tells me what to do on text. Yeah. But then when I text him about the pay, he just doesn't answer me. He just like leaves me on read. So I'm telling the guy, I'm like, yo, I'm leaving. Like, you owe me like, he owes me, I think I looked, it was like $2,900. He owes me like $3,000. So I literally go to the guy's house. He doesn't answer the door. And I didn't even hand him my 2 weeks. I just left. And I'm still trying to get it back.
Still trying to get the money back. I feel like you might know Samuel Chirina. Getting you back for not paying him.
I really hope he's not. I feel bad if he's watching this. I forgot about that. Yeah, we got to explain that story. So me and Carter were playing shinny. And actually, you didn't even have your equipment. I think you grabbed Owen's equipment. No,
Dude, that might have been the worst.
Yeah. It looked painful.
Of ice ever, bro. That I don't know, Owen. I don't know what equipment you've been rocking. That stuff was ridiculously uncomfortable.
It probably smelled like
that stuff was. Too. It was too small. The skates were completely out of whack.
And I also like, I kind of do this sometimes on purpose when I don't have cash on me. I'll be like, yeah, I'll e-transfer you later. And I don't e-transfer the person. Like some of my close friends know that. I'll be like, yo, can you pay for my fast food? I just don't e-transfer them. So I owe Jelena like $25
for ice.
Yeah. So when I become a millionaire one day, you'll get your 25 Jelena if you're watching this.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a funny moment though. Oh yeah, we got to speak about that day actually.
Why?
So me and Carter had a battle at like McDonald's, and you're gonna remember this. And you're like, oh yeah,
a battle?
Not like a battle, but you're like a competition of who could pull a girl like right now, because I think we were both single.
We were just talking about who was better game.
Yeah, like
overall.
better. Yeah,
we weren't actually trying to get chicks here.
And then I'm like arguing like, no, I do, and you're like, oh no, I do, and then like a random car pulls up and asks for Carter's like, was it number or something?
Snapchat.
And it's Snapchat, and I was like, Carter, you know what, you win, man. Like, fair play.
Fair play.
You know those like, well, I guess you don't have it, but well, I guess you do. You get the scams, like the bots, and you think it's someone you know, and then you accept it, and it's just like not someone you know.
I have no idea what you're talking
about. Oh, well, the people that have Snap, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Just some troll.
You'll get a random
girl,
and it's like some prostitute or whatever trying to add you. Well, I mean, you saw there, and they'll send you like straight up nudes.
Yeah.
The people on that have Snap know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't have Snapchat. Thankfully, I don't. I am.
If you want a quick hookup, Snapchat best
Snapchat.
thing. Personally,
prostitute scammers.
Personally, I don't use it for that, but
okay, yeah, no, CJT doesn't use
my
it.
boy he uses it.
Okay, I don't think we can expose. All right, who are we exposing here?
But I want to ask.
Cameras. Sorry, just a disclaimer. Cameras keep cutting out.
Yeah.
If there's like weird cuts, because I gotta go fix all the equipment.
If there's a podcast, and hopefully it's not mine, that you wish you never recorded or wish didn't happen. We're doing like these dare things, but like I don't want you saying the person's name, obviously. But has there been a podcast where you haven't liked it, or you just haven't liked the person's answers, or like maybe how it just went?
No,
you've liked every podcast.
I didn't like every podcast because there was never a podcast that ended and I was like, oh my goodness, this guest was horrendous.
Yeah.
But sometimes a podcast will end and I'll be like, I was terrible.
Oh,
it's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if I have a negative impression of a podcast, it was because I think I messed up. Because a lot of the time, if the guest was bad, it's because the host was bad. It's because I didn't ask the right questions.
Okay.
It's the host's job 100%.
Yeah.
I invite people on to this, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I can't like...
You got to make them feel comfortable.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's my job, especially at the start. Like as it grows, we've had people who I haven't asked on. Like when I first released the podcast, I've asked most of the people to come on if they would come on. And they would be like, yeah, sure, bro. Like whatever. They do it because like they're like friends and whatever. But like as it grows... I have an application form and there'll be people who I don't even know, I've never met, and will say, oh, can I get on your podcast, blah, blah, blah. So that type of thing, it's okay. It's like more of like a balanced discussion. Yeah. But especially if someone's doing me the favor of coming on and like I invited them, then 0% is it their fault at all. It's the host's job to make the guest
I feel like that'd be pretty cool though, the application, because I mean, you already know me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of repeating some things, not all, to you. But the people that you have no idea, it's just brand new for you.
It's it's like we're meeting for the first time.
I feel like that's pretty cool because it's just full emotion into speaking.
Yeah, it's like it's raw, and I think that I do enjoy this a lot.
Yeah,
the fact because we know each other so well, and we talk all the time.
Kick the can days
back in grade 5 or whatever. But it's you. Yeah, I like doing this type of thing because it seems really natural.
Yeah,
because this isn't the first time we're meeting. It's not like we're just getting to know each other. We can just dive straight into like weird stuff.
So it's not like, okay, I know what you mean. Like you have to go with the basic things if you don't know the person.
Yeah, like if I don't know the person at all, they're like, because there literally we've had, I think it's 2 so far. We've done 13 episodes that have been posted live. And 11 of them I already knew. There was 2 of them who I had never met. It was the first time ever I met them was on the podcast.
Oh, but they just wanted to come on?
They just wanted to come on. Yeah, they thought it was cool, whatever. So, like, what you're watching, it was 2 guys. So, it was Nathan Ching, who was the photographer I was talking about. And it was Moksh Guliani, who is the most viewed episode right now.
Oh, okay.
So... both of those guys, when you watch those episodes, it's us meeting for the first time ever.
Sweet.
It's us talking to each other for the first time ever.
That's sweet.
So it's like it's really raw, but it's also a different kind of vibe than this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. I want to ask you again. You said you can't just do university and like be extremely successful. Like you have to do something else as well, like on the side.
I don't know if it's, I'm kind of disagreeing myself. Maybe not.
Maybe you didn't say that. Maybe
I said similar, but it depends in my opinion, what your definition of successful is.
I see.
Because if your definition of successful is passing, if that's what you think is extremely successful, then in my opinion, you're living the life you want to live. Personally, me, I'm looking for a little bit higher. Same with you.
Yeah.
It depends where the bar is.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
For sure. Are you doing anything else? Like in school, like what do you like other than school, what do you spend your time doing?
What I spend my time doing is that means sport related or trying to make money related?
No, just like anything in life.
Oh, okay.
Like other than studying, other than school stuff.
Well,
like,
I work.
What do you do?
So during university,
you work during school?
Yeah.
Where at?
So I worked at Foodland.
Yep.
We're good here. I worked at Foodland and actually with Dawson. You know Dawson?
Yeah.
He's a guy that we grew up with. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of shit. Like,
Okay.
the Foodland in Elmira, I'll say the full location. Never fucking go there. It is dog shit. It is bad.
Was it bad before you showed up, or did you make it terrible?
You can ask. It's bad.
Yeah.
Ask any of the employees. Like, if anyone's watched from Elmira, you know it's bad.
Why?
Just that so many criminals that work at Elmira.
The employees,
yes,
are criminals.
I've seen like the one guy. I'm not gonna mention his name. Is listing off his charges. He's a supervisor in the. Yeah. So I worked in the dairy department.
Okay.
He's listing off his drug charges. Yeah. I am not kidding when I say this.
That's funny.
It is a shit show there.
That is funny. Foodland in Elmira.
Okay, so Foodland. Well, I played sports, so
yeah,
I actually broke my wrist. You know that. We'll get into that after.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do anything at the time because I had surgery.
Okay.
But I played spike ball. Super fun sport if you never played it.
Bro, it's sick.
Goated sport. I played with one of my buddies in we had a 2v2 tournament.
Yeah.
So they have leagues.
Yeah.
And for some reason we chose pro. And we're actually playing pros. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We went like 3-16.
Okay.
But, I mean, it was still fun. So
yeah, no.
It cost me like $50 bucks, but
to go 3-16.
Yeah.
I play with my cousins all the time, bro. We should 1v1 or
Okay.
2v2.
Yeah, you and Alex.
Me and Alex.
And then we'd fucking dominate.
All right, yeah. We'll
Also, funny story. Speaking of this Foodland Elmira fucking supervisor, I had to skip my semifinal game to fucking do a 4-9 shift. Brutal. What? We had to forfeit the semifinal. We're 3-16.
Your spike ball semifinal.
We went 1-15 in the regular season. We win 2 playoff games. We go to the fucking semis. I have to forfeit the semis because I had to go work a shift at Foodland.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know how I didn't lose a friendship. I don't know how my friend didn't fucking rip my head off, but it was brutal.
Oh man,
that's something you've never heard of either.
No, I didn't know that. You should turn the shift down.
New for everybody.
You should have been like, I'm about to win a spike ball championship at University of Waterloo. Get fucked.
And then second semester, I switched my hours because I hate working nights.
Okay.
I don't know why I dislike nights. One, the Leaf game. I'm a big sports watcher. I like watching Raptors, Leafs. Exactly. Basically, I hate night shifts. I want to do stuff in the night. Go out. I don't really go out often, but go out. Yeah. I don't know if it's for a walk or to eat dinner.
Your thing, yeah.
I just hate night shifts.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but
no, I started work my first ever job was night shifts. It was
oh yeah, I remember that. Burger
King. Yeah. I'd be working 4 to 12s, 4 to midnight, which was usually 4 to 12:30 because it's closed shift.
That's a rough shift too.
Yeah. Or it'd be just an 8 to 12. Yeah. And either way, I was closing all the time, which was trash. Another good taste of a life I'd never want to live.
Like the hockey fans know, the CBC Saturday nights. If you had to work late on the CBC Saturday nights, I know you did. That's why I'm saying Canada. It's brutal. Yeah, man. It's rough to work those late shifts.
Absolutely.
Another thing I did. What else did I do? No, I didn't play hockey because of the wrist situation, which we can get into.
Yeah, what happened?
So I'm playing volleyball. So we both went to high school at JSF, which is right. It's near the Mississauga UOT campus, I think.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure, but it's in Mississauga, I believe, or part
JSF?
of Brampton. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so. It's on the border of Brampton and Mississauga.
But we're playing volleyball, and I'm not going to disclose the name, but unless I can, I don't know if he's watching. But it's all jokes, so
yeah, it's fine.
But Marseille, if he's watching this, you know his older brother, I think.
I don't know who that is. Who's his older brother?
He was in your grade. If I show you a photo, I'll show you after.
Okay.
But so we're playing volleyball, and I don't really fucking like volleyball. It's kind of a shit sport. I can't lie.
Yeah.
But I like being at the front, spiking it.
Yeah.
So they put me at the back. I'm like, oh shit. So it kind of I think it was a chick on the other side, throws a fly ball. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, mine. He comes in and just bodies me out of the way. Actually just destroys me. Yeah. I land on my wrist, and you know how you land like this? Okay. My wrist folded that way. Jesus. And I've been in pain before, but I just didn't think of anything. I thought it was just a regular sprain. Yeah. And then, so I broke it then, and then I rebroke it. So that was in February. I rebroke it in June against you know who Wilmot Wild are?
Wilmot Wild.
Well, there's this just big fat I can't even lie. And you know when you go set a pick in lacrosse, if anyone knows like a basketball pick, so you're gonna have to bleep a lot of this out. This is just funny. I like saying this.
It is what it is.
This big guy, and I went to go set a pick, and I went to go like in a pick you have to stand still, but in lacrosse everyone moves. Yeah. So I'm gonna go set a pick, and my wrist just snapped, and I still played with a broken wrist throughout the whole playoffs. But after that, I went to the doctor. I'm like, something's not right. Yeah. And just surgery was needed.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's kind of.
So it was a volleyball. And then Wilmot closed it out.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna probably play him next series.
Oh yeah, yeah. How's that gonna go? Forgot to ask you about that.
Easy.
I was talking to some of the guys. They said it'll be an even series.
No, we're gonna sweep.
Gonna sweep.
Easy.
I agree. I think Northman go all the way.
It's gonna be
all three.
You know how sick divisions. That would be? I've been thinking about that. If it junior A, B, C all win.
I wanted to look it up because the only A, B, and C teams through all three, I think, are Six Nations and Orangeville.
And Orangeville, just those two.
I don't think all three of them have won at the same time.
I don't think it's happened before.
But that'd be cool because, well, you guys will win tonight. So go to the conference final. We're in the conference final. I think the A's go undefeated throughout the whole thing.
That'd be sick. Yeah, they're like playoffs and regular season. They're 23-0.
Yeah, they're
unreal,
crazy. But that'd be unreal if. And that's another thing I was gonna say about the Northmen. It's just such a culture. You know the vibe. You've been around. If you look at it, we have 30,000 people in Orangeville. We're beating teams like Mississauga, Brampton. We have like 700,000.
Crazy.
Because we just produce good lacrosse players.
Orangeville is absolutely a hub for lacrosse, which is crazy, and it is very hardcore here. I think that Orangeville's sport is lacrosse.
It is 100%
more than hockey.
100%,
which is crazy.
You don't see that often.
No, you don't. No, it's crazy. Like we don't have any junior hockey teams. Like obviously, not even junior C.
Yeah, we used to, but they went bankrupt.
Something happened. I think the owner was like a drug addict or something.
You'll never see the Northmen go. They have plenty of money. You'll never see them.
So much history too. It's crazy. So Orangeville is definitely a lacrosse town, and I've learned that more from working with the team.
Yeah, because you didn't even know what the game was. Like even some people here probably don't even know what the game was. Well, Carter didn't know either.
Yeah,
last year, and now
I didn't watch lacrosse. I didn't really pay any attention to lacrosse.
Now you know anything that happens. You already know what happens.
Yeah, it's like the players on these junior teams are kind of like local celebrities. Yeah, almost. It's crazy.
That's what I feel. It's cool about Orangeville being small. Everyone knows everyone. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Like you see someone, you're like, oh hey, like
what's up, bro?
You see someone in Sobeys, oh I know who you are.
All the time.
And I think another thing that a lot of people don't get is the fans and Tony. People come to, you'll see anybody.
It's paid tickets.
Like we're going. I'm not on the team. No, you're on the team, but you're not playing.
I work for the team.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people that go though, that aren't on the team. Some people don't even have kids on the team.
Yeah, their kids aren't on the team.
They're just out there to support.
Their relatives aren't on the team. They just like Orangeville lacrosse. Yeah. Like people just pull up. A lot of elders. All ages, kids, 40s, teens, it's everything. Everyone's out there.
Or even the Bees, we play at Alder, but it's the same thing. It's still packed rink.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to see.
That's awesome. Something that we both have in common is that our universities were the first English schools we'd ever gone to.
Yep. 100%.
How do you think that studying in a different language, studying in French for your whole life helped you as a person?
It's a great question. I like how it's like we're talking about sports and then school. I like this because it's good. How it helped me?
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't really help me with university, but I feel like it's a good thing to have. Because my mom actually just today, I forgot to tell you this. You know, she stopped doing the booster juice thing. She wants to be do something with flights because she wants free flights as a benefit. Nice. So she's doing like customer service at the airport.
Yep.
And one of the things that they like asked for and said is, can you be bilingual? Well, obviously she doesn't know a lot of French, so I feel like it didn't help me in university. But there's a lot of opportunity to be bilingual, like elsewhere, like because it's an English school, right? U of T, Waterloo. You don't really need French unless you're in French classes, I don't think. But I feel like just anywhere in life, otherwise, is bilingual is good.
For sure. Yeah. I think it's good for the brain as well. I think it's good for the brain stimulus, you know, getting your brain working all the time, because it's not when you're learning in English school, for example, let's say all these kids who went to an English high school, you can kind of turn your brain off a bit to the teacher teaching, because it's like they're speaking English. It doesn't take much effort to understand the English. I feel like when you're learning in a language that's not your first language, your main language, is that you can't really turn your brain off and still kind of pay attention.
I feel like that's a great point.
I think there's a part of you that always needs to be kind of listening, because it's not the first language that's going through your brain. You have to kind of do a bit of translating, live translating, kind of.
That's a great point. I think in English, like, say I'm not listening to you, well, I am listening to you, but say I kind of tune you out, I still kind of hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're doing like French or just any language other than your main language, which is English, I feel like you always have to be listening. Like if you tune out, I don't know, Zambu's class, for example.
Yeah, shout out to Zambu.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if he's watching this, but if he is, shout out. But when he would speak, you'd have to listen, or else you'd have to re-ask what he said.
Right. Because
I just feel like learning a second language, if it's not your main language, it's hard to tune anyone out.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that we're not fluent. Like we were both fluent in French. We are to this day both fluent in French. But I think there's just that little tiny extra step of needing to make sure you're fully paying attention.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to in second year?
I'd say just a continuation of the classes.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, you'll have like marketing, then marketing 2, marketing 3. And I just kind of like what I learned. I feel like that's a big thing university students have to, like I said earlier in the podcast, not all classes you're going to like, but I feel like if the subject is right, you'll find a way to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my program doesn't have science. I'm not a big science guy, but if I was learning science, I probably would switch subjects because I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm looking forward to just learning more to what I already know.
That's good. It's good. Yeah. You have to be constantly learning, whether it's like university or just learning on your own. It's it's important to expand your knowledge all the time. Yeah. I'm doing economics. Like I'm not in love with economics, I'll say. But I understand that I'm only in my programs that I'm in because I think that it is the most useful general knowledge that I can have going at a university. Like if I had to choose 3 subjects to kind of have an idea, a good sense of how they work when I'm 21 years old, which is how old I'll be when I'm out of university. Yep. When I'm 21, I want to know economics because you need to know how money works. I want to know psychology because it's important to know how people think no matter what you work in. And statistics, that's kind of just an add-on. It's good to, I guess, keep your math up. I don't know. I'm good at that. So that was just kind of a throw-in. But yeah, it's just useful knowledge. I don't think that I'd want to go and learn a subject that didn't actually give me a better understanding of how the world works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also feel like if there's classes you don't like, I'm not saying, change another subject, because there's some classes like in first year you have to take mandatory to get to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like, drop this course because, you don't like a couple classes. If like the classes get you to where you want to get to, then I'd say go for it.
For sure. What do you say to the person who didn't go to university?
In my opinion, it all depends what you want to do. Like we know some of our friends, if you do a trade, I feel like it's always good to have a degree, because university is not really trade, it's more college.
Right.
So I feel like I dissed colleges at the start. I'm kidding. It's that was me trolling. But I feel like I personally, if I was in a trade, would always get a degree first. Because I feel like if you had 2 people, me and you had a degree in welding, and you wanted to further that, and I applied just to weld, like who would you choose? You'd probably choose somebody with a degree in welding over somebody that just kind of hopped in straight to welding.
Right.
So I feel like a degree is always useful. But I don't I don't downgrade people for not going to school.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some unfortunate events that happen. Some people don't have the money to go to school, for example.
True.
Or some people just don't want to go to school. And I mean, we've seen with the millionaires, I don't even know if they even went to school.
It's not necessary.
I feel like that's kind of what home hardware taught me, actually. There's some guys that didn't go to school, but they didn't really go anywhere with not going to school.
100%. Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't know what you're going to do, you should probably go to school. But if you're saying, no, I'm not going to go to university because I'm going to do this, then I think that's fine.
I feel like a big thing is you have to, my dad always told me this, if you're not going to, so say, for example, you make 75 grand. I feel like my dad always told me this, school kind of gets you to that 50 mark after university gets you that extra 25. I feel like if you don't go to school, you're starting at zero base, if that makes any sense.
I see what you're saying.
School, it just pushes you, it just kind of elevates you quicker.
It lets you start the race a bit ahead already.
You're kind of already ahead starting school. It's always my dad told me. So I just kind of found out, okay, might as well, I kind of want to get to where I want to get to quicker.
Yeah.
Might as well do 4 years instead of doing 10 years without school, if that makes any sense.
No, that does make sense. Yeah, and education is important.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not anti-education. Yeah. Whether that's from university, like I said, whether that's in university or not, I don't know if that matters as much, because I don't know about you, but I'm really just in school for the degree at the end of the day. I think a lot of people are the same. They're just trying to get that slip of paper to once again show on the resume that they did this.
Exactly.
And that you should consider me more because of that reason. But I also find it extremely interesting. I was talking about this at work the other day, how a lot of students, they overstress about their grades, their GPA, as if that is like the determining factor of if you're going to land a position or not.
That's a big thing, actually.
Yeah, which is completely like wrong. That people like are thinking that it's their grades that are going to determine whether a boss is going to hire you.
I had this argument with my mom. It's the same thing. I feel high school, it matters because those grades get you into the university.
Yeah.
But university, whether I get 50s or you get 90s, I'm getting the same degree you're getting at the end of the day.
It's the exact same.
I'm a boss. I'm looking at two different papers. I don't go, oh, what? You just graduated. I don't give a shit about what grades you got. You got your slip. Like I couldn't care how you got it, but you got it at the end of the day.
Exactly. Like if I'm looking at two guys, looking at both their resumes, both of them got the same degree from the same school. This guy's GPA is 4.0. This guy's GPA is 2.2. Yes, I'm going to look at the 4.0. Yeah. But if the 4.0 shows up to the interview and is some weirdo who like is whatever, and he's just like and as a person, like he can't really talk. Yep. He's like, he smells, he didn't dress well pulling up, all this stuff, like basically Colin, right? And the 2.2 pulls up, he's clean, he's polite, he can communicate with you, all this kind of stuff. Bro, you take him. Yeah. You take him. At the end of the day, it comes down to also the boss just liking you as a person. If you show up to the interview and he's like, oh, you're a 4.0, but you're an asshole, compared to the guy who shows up the 2.2, good energy, he's likable, smiling, comes in thinking that, he's whatever. He's got that energy to him, then the boss is going to probably look at that guy more. Just thinks that you're a nicer, cooler guy to be around.
I feel like you said, I think school gives you the skills, but you have to have outside skills to further, proceed in life.
100%. Where are we at here, CJT? How much time?
Not sure.
Been going at it.
Haven't even noticed.
Yeah. Guess we got to head over to Junior C.
Might have to.
Do you have any closing thoughts for the Victoria College people, U of T people?
I'm going to be the most viewed podcast here because come on now.
Who are we kidding?
Of course I'm going to be the most viewed podcast guy here. But no, I'd say just keep doing what they're doing. It's really, I feel like it's cliche. A lot of people are like, oh, thank you for having me. You should be thanking me for having me on this podcast.
Thank you, Colin, for coming on.
No, I'm kidding.
Appreciate you so much.
No, I'm kidding.
For giving us all these amazing views.
But yeah, just, I enjoyed my time here. It was good.
Sweet, man. Let's head out.
Appreciate it.
All right.